Hello, this is James Keck, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about our pilot wastewater assessment for coronavirus in Kentucky, or WACI. We received this pilot funding from UK CARES in the summer of 2020 at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we were able to validate a lab assay to measure SARS-CoV-2 virus in wastewater. And that led to supporting the university's efforts to do wastewater surveillance at dormitories. And from there, we were able to leverage our experience to get a grant from the CDC to do surveillance at long-term care facilities across 2 cities, Lexington and Louisville, 6 facilities for the year of 2021, showing both feasibility and potential use for detecting infections in a vulnerable population. We've also now part of the NIH RAD-X-RAD program with WACIST, or the Wastewater Assessment for Coronavirus in Kentucky, implementing enhanced surveillance technology. And through that grant, we have stood up a surveillance network in Eastern Kentucky across 9 counties, and we're further working to refine assays around testing wastewater, not just for SARS-CoV-2, but for other pathogens and endpoints. To that end, we have received a super pilot to test wastewater from these sites for illicit and prescription drugs. We're looking into the ethics of wastewater surveillance for public health use, and most recently received an NSF grant as part of the PIP, or Predictive Intelligence for Pandemic Prevention program, where we hope to take this environmental surveillance approach into places where pathogens emerge, such as sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia, to identify them before they become pandemic. Here's a snapshot of the data we've been collecting from Eastern Kentucky over the past year and a half. You can clearly see the wastewater signal has come through in several waves, mirroring the Delta and then Omicron 1 and 2 waves, and we've just recently started to see an uptick in our signal in Eastern Kentucky. Some other cool things that have come out of this: we're contributing to the CDC's National Wastewater Surveillance System. You can see those tiny blue dots in Eastern Kentucky are coming from our project. We've been able to build a mobile lab van, and we're testing samples in the field and training people using this van. It's parked behind the engineering building if you want to take a look. We'll be contributing to an upcoming Kentucky Science Center exhibit related to environmental health and wastewater. And then we are part of the NIH SEED program, which is looking at how we can commercialize this technology. None of this would have happened without a great team, amazing collaborators and community partners. Foremost, Scott Berry, who's in the College of Engineering, and other faculty across 7 colleges in multiple disciplines, and postdocs down to undergrad students and dedicated research team staff, and then many external partners at academic institutions, community organizations are listed, not all, but many on the right. And I finished with a couple of pictures. The left is rural Madagascar, where I first started contemplating environmental surveillance back in January of 2020. And then most recently, Bethel, Alaska, which is a rural and remote community where I'm supporting testing wastewater to look for SARS-CoV-2, RSV, and influenza. So I appreciate the support and funding. It's really led to a plethora of exciting science.